Hello, welcome back to the Path of Vitality channel. In today's episode, we're going to address a topic that is often overlooked when it comes to our diet. Did you know that some daily dietary mistakes can be sabotaging your health without you realizing it? If you've noticed that belly fat is increasing even without drastic changes in your diet, it's time to pay attention to the habits that may be fueling this problem. And the worst part, these habits are often so small and routine that they go unnoticed, but they have a big impact on visceral fat, the kind that accumulates around the organs and can generate serious risks to your health. In this video, we're going to show you 6 dietary mistakes that you're probably making and that are contributing to visceral fat gain. More importantly, we're going to give you simple and practical tips that you can start applying today to change these habits and improve your long-term health. Stay with us until the end to understand how small changes can have a huge impact on your body and well-being. Visceral fat is the kind that accumulates around the internal organs, such as the liver, intestines, and even the heart. This type of fat is extremely dangerous, as it is not limited to the external appearance of the body. It hides inside the abdominal cavity, but its effects are profound. Visceral fat is associated with serious health problems, such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and even some types of cancer. Even if you are not excessively overweight, you may be carrying a dangerous amount of visceral fat without even realizing it. And the most worrying thing is that it is often the result of dietary mistakes that are made daily, without us even realizing it. One of the reasons why visceral fat is so harmful is that it not only occupies physical space in the body, but also affects the functioning of the organs. It can release inflammatory substances that alter hormonal balance and insulin resistance, impairing metabolism. Understanding this makes it clear that it's not just an aesthetic issue. Visceral fat silently and devastatingly compromises our internal health. Even if you have an exercise routine or a healthy diet in some aspects, the presence of visceral fat can interfere with your efforts. Therefore, controlling and reducing this fat should be a priority. Here, we will detail the 6 most common dietary mistakes that generate visceral fat. Each mistake will be explained clearly and objectively, with everyday examples so that you can identify these habits and prevent them from harming your health. The first mistake is excessive consumption of refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, pasta, and sugary cereals, are rapidly absorbed by the body and cause spikes in blood glucose. When this happens frequently, the body begins to store more fat, especially in the abdominal region. The ideal is to replace these foods with whole grain options, which release energy more slowly and controlled, helping to maintain the balance of glucose levels. The second mistake is excessive consumption of processed foods. Processed foods, such as fast food, snacks, and ready-made dishes, are rich in trans fats, sodium, and refined sugars. These ingredients increase inflammation in the body and are major villains when it comes to visceral fat gain. A good alternative is to prioritize fresh and natural foods, such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. The third mistake is lack of fiber in the diet. Fiber is essential for the proper functioning of the digestive system and for controlling insulin levels. The lack of it can directly affect metabolism and contribute to the accumulation of abdominal fat. To increase fiber intake, opt for foods such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. The fourth mistake is inadequate consumption of good fats. Many people avoid good fats, such as those found in avocados, olive oil, and nuts, fearing that they will increase body fat. However, these fats help control visceral fat and maintain a healthy metabolism. Instead of fearing them, include these good fats in your daily meals. The fifth mistake is excessive alcoholic beverages. Alcohol can affect metabolism and promote the accumulation of abdominal fat. In addition, it interferes with fat burning and is often consumed along with processed foods and rich in empty calories. If you want to control visceral fat, moderate your alcohol consumption, especially sweetened drinks. The sixth mistake is eating late at night. Eating large amounts of food late at night affects the natural functioning of metabolism and can contribute to the accumulation of visceral fat. Try to establish a regular eating routine with light meals at night to give your body time to process the food before bed. Now, let's delve a little deeper into the effects of these mistakes on the body. When we make these dietary slips frequently, they not only affect our appearance, but also the internal functioning of our body. Let's understand what happens in the body when these mistakes are made. Insulin resistance is one of the first effects. When you consume many refined carbohydrates and foods with a high glycemic index, your body begins to have difficulty regulating glucose levels. This can lead to insulin resistance, where cells become less sensitive to the hormone and the body stores more fat, especially in the abdominal region. Chronic inflammation is also a consequence. Processed foods and alcoholic beverages increase inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation not only contributes to the accumulation of visceral fat, but also increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Visceral fat, in particular, is directly linked to the production of inflammatory substances that affect the functioning of the organs. Another effect is hormonal imbalance. When you avoid good fats and consume processed foods and rich in sugars, your body's hormonal balance is affected. This imbalance can increase the production of cortisol, the stress hormone, which contributes to the accumulation of abdominal fat, in addition to affecting the hormones responsible for satiety and metabolism. With these dietary mistakes, metabolism also becomes slower. Eating late at night and lack of fiber can slow down your metabolism, making it difficult to burn fat. This means that the body begins to store more fat, especially in the abdominal region, as there is not enough time to metabolize the food before bed. In addition to the physical impacts, these dietary mistakes also affect your mind. An unbalanced diet can generate mood swings, irritability, and even increase stress levels, creating a vicious cycle where inadequate diet worsens mental health and contributes even more to weight gain. Now that we understand the mistakes and their impacts, it's time to change. The goal of this video is to show that small changes can make a big difference in your health and your body. We will present practical solutions that you can start applying today to combat the accumulation of visceral fat and improve your diet. Replace refined carbohydrates with whole grains. Swap refined breads, pasta, and cereals for their whole grain versions. This helps control blood glucose levels and promotes satiety, preventing abdominal weight gain. Start with something simple. Swap your white bread for whole grain bread and see the difference. Opt for fresh and natural foods. Avoid processed foods, rich in sodium, sugars, and trans fats. Prepare your own meals at home with fresh and natural foods. Include fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Organize your week, if possible, preparing meals in advance to make it easier on a daily basis. Increase fiber intake. Fiber helps control appetite and improves digestion. Start the day with a fiber-rich breakfast, such as oatmeal or chia, and include vegetables and legumes in all your meals. Eating more fibrous foods can be the key to a more efficient digestive system. Include good fats in your diet. Don't be afraid of healthy fats. Incorporate foods such as avocado, olive oil, nuts, and seeds into your diet. These fats help reduce visceral fat and promote heart health. Control alcohol consumption. Alcohol can interfere with metabolism and promote the storage of abdominal fat. Try to reduce the amount of alcohol and, whenever possible, opt for drinks with fewer calories, such as dry wine. Also, avoid mixing it with sugary drinks. Eat earlier and in a balanced way at night. Avoid large meals late at night. Establish regular times for your meals and try to have a light dinner, with lean proteins and vegetables. This will help your metabolism to function properly and prevent the accumulation of abdominal fat. Now that you have the information and the necessary tools, it's time to act. By applying these small changes in your daily life, you will be on the right track to reduce visceral fat and improve your health. Start with a single adjustment. Replace refined carbohydrates with whole grains or add more fiber to your diet. Don't worry if you don't do everything at once. The important thing is that you start and be consistent. Remember, changes don't have to be drastic, but they do have to be sustainable. The transformation process happens when you decide to make a better choice every day. If you like this video and believe it can help someone, share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to leave your comment below, telling us how you intend to apply these tips in your daily life. Subscribe to the channel for more health and wellness tips and strategies. Let's go together on this journey to a healthier and happier life.